Uh, I recently learned about this old guy back in the day. His name was Socrates. All right, and this guy right here, okay, he's known as a pretty big philosopher back in the day. You know, like you got your big kings and queens here. This guy was big philosopher, dude. And one of the things that
I've got a question, by the way.
Oh, okay. Should I finish what I'm saying, or do you want to say it
if
right
you
now?
want to? It's up to you.
All right. Well, what I was gonna say is that this guy basically what he did during his time one day, or over several course of days, is that he went up to random people, and then just questioned them and was like, "Hey, what do you know about this certain topic?" Because someone told him that he was the smartest man, because the fact that he claimed that he knew nothing. What do you think about that statement? And so, because well, after that, then that's when he questioned everybody, trying to find someone smarter than him. But the main thing is that Socrates was claimed as the smartest man because he knew that he didn't know anything. What do you think about that statement?
Well, I think it's just one of those, like, stupid things that you say in philosophy class. Oh, you're the smartest person if you think you don't know anything. Yeah, I mean, like, yes and no, because smartest person for the time, maybe, but, like, there's way smarter people now, you know what I mean? But, smart and intelligence are two things that you can't just be, like, comparing, philosophy to science or math, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it depends on your definition of intelligence or being smart. Yeah,
I think a lot of people would look at that and be like, "Oh my goodness, must be right. It's in my philosophy book, so therefore he is the smartest guy," and they forget to actually dissect it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but in terms of like, if you were there are two. I think there are several different ways you could define smart, but like one person could say that, hey, this person's smart because they know a lot of facts and information, or this person could say that, oh, they're smart because of their experience and how they know how to deal with situations because of critical thinking. You know what I mean? Yeah. What'd you look up and find?
So basically, I read a couple of things, and it says, is our universe real? Do we have? And the third one is, do we have free will? Does God exist? Is there life after death? Can you really experience anything objectively? What is the best moral system? And what are numbers? This sounds like a Vsauce episode. What are numbers?
What are numbers?
But
can you go back 3 questions?
I mean, I feel with 3 questions.
Yeah, go back 3 questions.
Is there life after death?
After that?
Can you really experience anything objectively?
Yeah, what does that mean? I kind of understood all the other questions they were asking,
maybe
but that question...
maybe it's like, can you ever experience anything without forming your own opinion?
Oh, you mean like in a way to be completely non-biased?
I guess. Here. Make sure we don't sound like idiots. Although, if I'm looking at the word objectively, we are idiots.
Yeah. But as you were saying?
I feel like we should talk about, is the universe real? Because I've often wondered this. Like, just think about the fact, like, people theorize that the Big Bang happened, but to me that doesn't make any sense. They say energy cannot be destroyed or created. Well,
and yet.
Yeah, like, it's impossible. It had to be created at some point. The law of conservation of energy, or maybe it's just a theory, one of the two. Doesn't make any sense in my opinion. At one point, it had to be created. And I think that either A, our minds can't fathom that at all, or B, God exists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, objectively, in a way that is not influenced by personal feelings or opinions. So I was right. It's like unbiased, basically.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I feel like there's a philosophical definition.
A philosophical definition of objectively?
Yeah, but I already X'd out of it, so I have to wait for it to load again. Dadgummit. But as soon as I X'd out, I saw the word philosophy, and I was like, dadgummit, is that a different definition?
That is true. Maybe everyone's definition of objectively is different.
Nobody's objective about the objective definition. Anyway, objectively was a philosophical concept of being true and independently from individual subjectivity caused by perception, emotions, or imagination. A proposition is considered to have the objective truth when its truth conditions are met without bias caused by a sentient subject. Sorry, I can't see.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to talk about, is the universe real? I mean, I feel like we'd already discussed that. I don't know what else to talk about that.
Well, the whole universe is real kind of reminded me of, you know how like some people say that like the moon landing was fake?
Do you believe it is?
I hope it's not. I mean, like, I wasn't there.
I believe that we actually went to the moon, but I don't think that they actually got any real footage, so they made it up when they were on Earth. If you look at those tapes, I feel like they're pretty fake, but I'm not one of the people who say that we haven't gone there. I'm just one of the people who say that the films and the videos were fake. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't really done much research on this, so I don't think I can really give an opinion yet. But as far as I know, I've been brought up knowing that the moon's out there in outer space, and after the moon, well, not after the moon, but like we got Earth, we got the moon, we got Mars, we got Venus, we got Jupiter, we got Mercury, we got Saturn, we got Uranus, we got Neptune, and we got good old Pluto. Even though some people said that Pluto is not a planet. It's a dwarf planet, therefore it is still a planet, and it is there, okay?
They already said it's a planet now, dude. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. These frickin' scientists don't know what the hell to believe. Which puts us on our next question. Should we believe the scientific consensus, or should we look at the people who don't believe the scientific consensus and look at their point of view?
I think that's a really good question, but because it's a really good question, I'm not sure how to answer it. Because personally, I would think that observable, repeatable evidence is something that we should look at and believe and trust. But then again, not all of like our measuring tools or what's a good way to explain it? Because people probably tried doing that before, like back in the day, and then their theories were disproved. So I don't know if we can even trust what we know now.
Yeah, like the whole observable, repeatable thing with like global warming. Different ways of looking at the graphs can tell you different things. It does not. I don't believe it's always. I mean, like me personally, I believe in global warming, but I do think there's an argument that it doesn't exist, and you know what I mean. I feel like another thing, just say you believe in consensus or not to. I feel like if you look back in Columbus times, everyone thought the Earth was flat. The consensus in the scientific community was that if you go too far, you're gonna fall off the side of the Earth and get swallowed by a big green sea monster. So, I think that the consensus among the scientific community doesn't mean crap. And I think that you have to look into it yourself and don't just take everyone's word for it. And when you see CNN saying it's going to be Mad Max Fury Road in 10 years, don't just take their word for it. Obviously take it into consideration, but don't just say, yeah, we're going to die in 10 years if I don't shut down my car, stop driving, so I'll just buy a new Tesla. You know what I mean?
You're just, oh no, we're all going to die.
Yeah, Pluto's a dwarf planet.
A recognition, but yeah, for in terms of the whole global warming thing, I agree that people should look at it themselves and not let other people determine something for them. Like and because of that, I would say nowadays, considering all the things that we can see online, and how the internet is basically one giant encyclopedia. But then again, not all parts in the encyclopedia are true. That's the only sad part. So you just gotta watch out, You gotta do research yourself. You gotta watch out for all the things that are on the internet that may or may not be true, and think of the facts and what's logical here.
Yep.
So, in terms of, like, let's say, for example, global warming stems from the fact that, all the CO2 and, like, car emissions that have gone into the atmosphere and whatnot, breaking the ozone layer, all of that, I think, and even just forgetting the science for a second, we already know that it's not good for the Earth. I feel like it's already been proven that doing what we do and plastic and trash buildup in the Atlantic, there was like the massive trash island that it's not good, man. Like whether or not the global warming theory is true, which I think it is personally, but whether or not it is true, that's not good. And that amount of trash that's gone into the ocean is not, whether it's hurting the environment, it's hurting the things in the environment for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't good, man. It ain't good.
No. But, I mean, I don't know. Humans have been doing that forever, dude. Eventually they'll stop. Eventually.
Eventually they'll stop or be stopped.